We've shown you how to make the rigs, and we've also shown you how to clean and prep the ballyhoo. Now we're going to show you how to take the ballyhoo and rig them up with a J-hook on a pin rig or a copper wire rig so that they're going to swim perfectly in your spread. Check it out right now. In offshore fishing, there's two primary ways to rig a J-hook ballyhoo. I'm going to go over those two different ways for you right now. It's really easy to do, and it's something that you can watch this video and quickly learn how to do it yourself. Laid out here is everything that we need to do to make the rigs. We have our chafe guard, we've got crimps. I prefer AFW copper crimps, double barrel. We've got our hooks. For me personally, I like the Mustad 7691 in the 8.0 size. It fits anything from large to medium ballyhoo. Just a great all-around hook, very strong, welded eye, like it a lot. What I've got here is a Joe Shoot fish finder lure, and comes in this. And this is something special. This is in a custom color that only TackleDirect offers. And it is you'll see it looks white here. It's a blue over white with a dark blue head. Really, really effective color that we've been dragging here this summer and had a lot of success with on both yellowfin and bluefin. For the pin rig, you'll need some single strand wire, number 12. If you're doing a wire rig, those are the two different, or copper wire rig, the two different rigs we're going to talk about, you'll need about a 16-inch long piece of copper wire. So I'll show you that when we're rigging. I like 130-pound mono, works great, especially for leader shy fish, not too heavy, not too light. It's the perfect size. So let's get into how to make it. First, we'll take a piece of 6 to 8 foot, 130-pound leader. I've got it pre-cut here. And the first thing I'm going to do is put my crimp on. Next, I'm going to put my egg weight on. Depending on what size ballyhoo you're using, you go up with a bigger ballyhoo. Large ballyhoo, you might want to use up to like a ½ ounce. I'm mostly trolling mediums, so what I prefer is a 3/8 ounce. This is a 3/8 ounce egg. And I'll come through the weight and then through the hook. So I've got all three of these in line right here. And I'm going to come over top of the weight and into my crimp. Then I'm going to snug everything relatively tight. Just about like that. And then first what I'll do is a pin rig. And in a pin rig, I'll then take my piece of number 12 wire, and that's going to serve as a post. And I'll insert that into the middle of the crimp so that when I make that crimp, it's tight in there and stays in there. Now, if we were going to be doing a copper wire rig, instead of using this, we would take our piece of 16-inch copper wire and insert that. But I'm going to show you the one with the pin rig. Get that in the middle of the crimp. Sometimes it takes a second. There we go. Let me make sure everything is snug, but not too tight. You still want everything to be in line. And then we'll crimp it down. When you're doing your crimp, always make sure that your crimper is centered on the crimp so that you can see both sides of the crimp so that when you squeeze down, the ends are flared and it's not damaging your monofilament at all in any way. Now that we've done that, I've got a little tag here of monofilament. I'm going to trim that with my shears. You can also Just do it tight beforehand. And I'll take this post, this number 12 wire, and I'm going to bend that straight up, facing in the opposite direction of the hook. So the hook is down, this is up. And you'll see why in our rigging video that we do it that way. Now this is going to be far longer than what we really need. We can probably cut it down to about a third the size of this, but I always like to make it long because you can always go back and cut. So there we have it. That's the business end of our rig. Next thing you're going to do is simply take your skirt and slide it on. Now keep in mind that the Joe Shoots, these fish finders, are a reverse skirt. So, and sometimes these will give you trouble putting on. You just do a little spin of your fingers and it normally goes right through. I'm not having such luck right now. There we go. So this way, when you drag this lure, the water is going to push that skirt back over your bait and expose the head of the lure. So what we'll do is we'll slide that on down. And then we're going to handle the other end. Put your crimp on. And then here I'll use a crimp protector. And that helps avoid chafe from your snap swivel rubbing up against that monofilament. It's AFW, or I'm sorry, it's high C's chafe guard. And then I'll just tighten this so it's a perfect loop like so. Take my crimper, center it up in that crimp so that we have flared ends. You can see it centered so both ends of the crimp are exposed, and tighten. Now, that is your Ballyhoo rig ready to go. You just got to cut that post down. And another quick trick that I like to do is a lot of guys use a small rubber band and they'll then take it and wrap it around this post. I like to take a large rubber band and just overhand knot it and keep it right on this rig so I don't have to constantly reach for a new one. It's always there, ready to go, that I can wrap around my bait. We'll show you how to rig them in a second. Keep in mind that if we were doing this with the copper wire, we just would have replaced this post for a piece of soft copper wire and rigged it that way. We'll show you the two different techniques right now. Stay tuned and check it out.